In this video, I want to talk to you about 3 lessons, non-technical lessons, that I learned when I did my coding bootcamp. And this was back in end of 2020 when I was making a career change into tech, tried self-teaching myself how to code with watching YouTube tutorials, realizing that it wasn't getting me anywhere. I needed more help. I needed structure. So I signed up for a 3-month full-time coding bootcamp. And then the first thing that I learned is that you don't really understand the concepts until you're tested against upon it. In the course, they would have lecture, and I'll be watching it and just nodding along. Okay, this makes sense. This makes sense. And then they'll give us assignments that you're supposed to do on your own. And then when I tried to complete the assignments, my mind was just blank, and I was just thinking like, I guess I don't really know how to do this because I couldn't do it. While I thought I knew what was going on when I was watching the lectures, but when I actually had to develop an application based on what they were talking about in the lectures, I couldn't do it. So, and I wouldn't have known that unless I was tested against it, unless I was forced to use what I learned and make something out of it. So, and this is why I guess, why school, they test you, and why during coding interviews, they test your knowledge. They ask you technical questions, they give you projects, take-home projects, live coding to test, to make sure that you really know what you're doing. And then when I was doing these coding interviews and just failing them, it made me realize I didn't know what I thought I knew before. Whenever there was tests, there was people in front of me. And so you have to test what you learned, apply what you learned on a real project where there's things at stakes, where you're not just listening, you're actively applying what you've learned to really make sure you understand certain concepts. The next thing that I noticed was that there's different levels. There's different kind of developers. People learned coding at different rates. I didn't notice such a wide range of how certain people just got it, and certain people just struggled so much of it. It was just a wide range of it, and I guess that's based on their background, their skill sets, their personalities. But there were people who had killer projects, and there was people whose project didn't even work. So, because before I didn't develop with anyone, I didn't know how other people were, and it made me realize that a lot of people struggle with it. I mean, that wasn't anything new, but just how there's people out there that can grasp these concepts so quickly. And it made me realize that's why when hiring, they have to really pick out people from the candidates that really know the stuff, because there's a lot of bad ones and there's a lot of brilliant people in this field. So it just made me realize that I have to work harder at times, that there's people brilliant. Don't get too cocky in this field, because there's people out there that are so good at it, and you have to kind of humble yourself, keep learning. Even though there's people that you're better at, there's other people who are exceptional at coding. So, and then the last thing that I've learned was that you never stop learning. They had a structure. Things are constantly evolving with technology. When we were learning JavaScript, they had us learn like an old version of JavaScript. Legacy is what they call it. And it was actually, I was thinking, what's the point of learning deprecated programming languages? And it made me realize that technology is constantly evolving, and it builds upon certain concepts, and then legacy concepts is still used as a foundation for other technologies to build upon. And you're not gonna, a lot of times you're not gonna appreciate how the new technologies solves the problem if you don't know the old technologies. So made me realize that new technologies are constantly evolving, and you kind of have to understand not only the new stuff, the old stuff as well. And it's going to be a never-ending pursuit of learning new technologies, and you have to learn like the old stuff as well. So those are the three main concepts of how you have to be tested against a knowledge you know to really make sure you understand it. You have to, that there's different people, there's such a wide range of people, developers, people who learn how to code. And lastly, that it's a never-ending learning process. You don't just learn enough to do the job and then you just do the job. It's a constant pursuit. That's all for this video. My name's David. I'm a freelance web developer based out of Las Vegas. If you need help building out an app, website, SaaS app, learning how to code, feel free to message me what you're up to, any questions you have, and I can point you in the right direction. Thank you so much.